If you've ever crossed the California to Nevada border on the drive toward Las Vegas, there is a stretch of highway where the desert opens up and a few large buildings suddenly appear on the horizon. Long before the strip comes into view, places like Primm used to feel like a marker that you'd arrived somewhere different. It wasn't just a town you passed through, it was a stop. Today, that feeling is harder to find. Pulling off the highway now, the scale of the properties feels out of sync with the amount of activity around them. The buildings are still large, the parking area is still wide, but there is very little movement. Buffalo Bill's, one of the most recognizable casinos at the state line, no longer operates the way it once did. After more than 30 years, regular hotel and casino operations were reduced, and the property now opens mainly for concerts or scheduled events rather than daily use. Nearby, Whiskey Pete's followed a different path. That property closed completely late last year, leaving behind another large structure that no longer serves its original purpose. With those changes, only one major casino in the area continues to operate full-time. From the outside, it's not immediately obvious what's changed, but the longer you stay, the clearer it becomes. There was a time when Primm was not treated as an afterthought. In the 1990s, it was built to pull travelers off the highway and keep them there. One of the biggest draws was the Desperado roller coaster, which once ranked among the tallest and fastest in the world. It was known not just for its size and speed, but for how it cut directly through the casino building itself. The ride was designed to feel connected to the property in a way that was unusual at the time. Now, much of that interior space is not accessible. You can see the track from the outside, but the parts that once ran through the building are sealed off. The coaster still stands, but it feels disconnected from the environment it was designed to be part of. Beyond the roller coaster, the resort included other attractions and a large indoor arena. That arena still opens occasionally for scheduled shows, but most of the surrounding infrastructure remains quiet. The scale of what was built here suggests expectations that no longer apply. Large walkways, wide entrances, and empty corridors hint at how much foot traffic was once anticipated. Just beyond the casinos, there is a small residential complex and a local convenience store that still serves the people who live nearby. Outside of that, there is very little activity. Most of the remaining operations have been consolidated around Primm Valley Resort, which appears to be the only property still receiving consistent attention from management. Inside Primm Valley, the contrast between active and inactive areas becomes more noticeable. Some sections have clearly been refreshed, while others are filled with unused furniture and old slot machines that are no longer connected or powered on. Entire rooms appear to be used as storage rather than entertainment space. The layout feels fragmented, as if different parts of the building belong to different time periods. Walking through the resort, it does not feel abandoned in the traditional sense. Instead, it feels paused. Certain areas are open and functioning, while others remain closed without explanation. The space feels like it is waiting for something that has not arrived. Scattered throughout the building are signs and displays that have not been updated in years. One of the more unusual features still on display is the Bonnie and Clyde death car, marked with dozens of bullet holes. Over the years, the car has been moved between different properties in Primm, eventually returning to Primm Valley. It is one of the few elements that has not changed position, even as everything around it has shifted. For travelers coming from Southern California, Primm once offered a convenient and affordable alternative to Las Vegas. It was close enough to feel accessible, but far enough to avoid the congestion of the Strip. Over time, that advantage has faded. After widespread shutdowns in 2020, activity never fully returned to previous levels. At the same time, casinos closer to major population centers continued to expand, reducing the need for an extra stop along the highway. The outlet mall attached to Primm Valley tells a similar story. Once filled with recognizable retail brands, it is now almost entirely vacant. Many stores closed years ago, and today the interior is no longer accessible. From the outside, only faded murals and sealed entrances hint at what used to be inside. The structure remains, but its original function does not. Location has also become a factor. With Las Vegas less than 40 minutes away, most travelers continue driving rather than stopping. The volume of traffic simply is not enough to support multiple large-scale casinos in this area anymore. What once made Primm feel like a gateway now makes it feel like a bypass. There have been discussions about redevelopment. The company operating the properties has mentioned plans involving renovations, new dining options, and infrastructure upgrades. There is even talk of a future airport project nearby, though it remains far off and uncertain. For now, Primm sits in an in-between state. It has not disappeared, but it no longer functions the way it once did. The buildings remain, the signs still stand, and parts of the property still open from time to time. But the role this place once played has quietly changed, leaving behind a landscape built for a different moment.